Assalamu alaikum, 7th grade. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. So now we're going to talk about the emergence and spread of world religions. Now there's a key concept that we have to understand, okay? This is from a secular Western perspective of world religions. This is not from our deen, okay? This is not from what we believe as Muslims, okay? And we will notice that when we look at it, we'll reflect on it and kind of conceptualize what they believe and then kind of say, okay, put that in a box and really reflect on it and what that means as a Muslim, okay? So we'll learn through this together. So what we know through our history timeline is at first we were hunter and gatherers in this aspect, right? So we were the era of foragers, and that was about 200,000 plus years ago, right? That's or so they believe. And then we started to spread across the earth. We adapted to different places. We adapted to deserts, to rivers, to forests, and we learned how to live in all these places. And our language developed at that time as well. And then we started settling down, okay? And we would settle down next to rivers because then we can use the river as water source so we can plant our crops. And when we started settling down, we started making cities like Catalhook in Turkey, okay? And then eventually we would settle down so much that we would create a civilization, right? When we have the large seeded grasses like wheat and oats, and then we had domesticated animals like cows and sheep, and then we were all around the same kind of climate and latitude that allowed for growth of food, okay? And then that caused civilizations. And then what do we know? We know that in era 3, our civilization started to grow and expand so much that there was a central authority, people started making laws, people started making systems and social hierarchies, and then people started trying to take over lands surrounding them. And this militarism was what caused empires, right? So era 3, empires were rising and they were really starting to take a stage on the world timeline, okay? Now, according to their perspective, this is when world religion started to spread, okay? It's a little bit different than what we believe as Muslims, okay? And we'll go back to that in a little bit. But for them, they believe this is when world religion started to spread. So we're going to watch this really small clip, okay? And what I want you to notice is one, where they say that the religion started, okay? And how it spread, okay? So this is about the spread of religion, okay? And I want you to note the different places in which it started and how it spread. So, link is right here. And we're going to start from the beginning. So, this is 3000 BCE. Okay, so this is the world map right now on what is the major or dominating religion in these areas, okay? So we watched it once, we're going to watch it one more time, and I'm going to talk through this one, okay? So they believe that this is the birth of Krishna and that he had founded Hinduism, okay? And they believe that spread all throughout that area. Then they believe that the birth of Ibrahim spread Judaism. Now, of course, we know that that's not exactly how that happened, okay? Then this is basically when the Jewish diaspora, a lot of people, especially at that time, the Yehud obviously had their struggles as well when it came to them being muwahideen also. Then they believed that the death of Isa spread Christianity, and we know our version of that is not true as well. And then they believe that it's around their calendar, 570 AD was the birth of the Prophet ﷺ and the spread of our deen as Islam. Okay, they put Muslim conquest expands up north, east, and west. And then this shows the spread. Now, there was the Crusades, which we will learn about later on in the year, probably closer to May or April. Okay, and this is the spread of Islam. And then the spread of Christianity, missions abroad, and those that are going to do their project on Christianity will look up what missions are, okay? Because it's very important detail. Then when they took the lands of Philistine and called it Israel, that's what they're calling it there in this map, okay? So, a couple of things. We know that Ibrahim alayhi salam, that Isa alayhi salam did not found or were not the founders of Christianity or Judaism, right? We know that the followers started on Tawheed, and then over time they deviated and then kind of created their own religion, right? Their own type of worship. And that's what they call Christianity, and that's what they call Judaism, okay? Now, with Buddhism and Hinduism, I don't know much about Buddha or Krishna, right? But we know that as Muslims, we come into this world knowing Tawheed and that it's in our fitrah, right? But then, depending on our surroundings, that we are taught to kind of deviate from Tawheed unless Allah Azza wa Jal guides us, and may He keep us on the straight path, okay? So, that is a brief overview of the spread of religion, okay? And I want you to note a few things that you noticed, okay? So on the worksheet, note a few things that you noticed about the map. It can be your own personal observations, okay? Now, back to the PowerPoint. Now, we looked at these two. Now, these two are representative of the video that we just watched. Map A, okay, right here, it shows the spread, okay, starting from here, all the way out on this area here. And on map B, it shows another type of spread. And it's starting from this area right here. It's going all through here, through Europe, down the side, and out through here. Okay, so which one of them is Buddhism, the spread of Buddhism, and which one of them is the spread of Christianity? So on your worksheet, you will note to me map A is for which one, and map B is for which one. How do you know? So tell me, how would you know? What do you think these arrows represent? So pause the video, go ahead, go on the worksheet, and answer those questions, please. Now, in terms of their aspects of world religions, okay, world religions to them, excuse me, has a function of society. Okay, so for them, world religions appeals to unite many different people. Okay, so and a way to understand that is Muslims can be white American Muslims, they can be Black American Muslims, they can be Arab Muslims, they can be Asian Muslims, they can be African Muslims, they can be European. They appeal to many different types of people. Okay, obviously we know that